Hey everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Just want to make a video lesson going over the week. Now that the week is over, just go over how I did, any lessons to take away from it. So as we can see here, solid week, one wrong, 88%. Today we have it off. Yesterday was the best day. Started off very weak with a small loss. That was an IMTE, the only loss. And from there, slowly built it. So yeah, not too bad. Let's jump into this one. This one gives more information here. Really, the takeaway, sticking to my patterns. I've been doing really good with that, even when it doesn't work out. I was able to cut the loss small, and that worked out nicely, right around 5%, a little bit over. So it happens, but I did have not much size in there. Wait, if I remember. Oh, yeah, I remember this one actually. It panicked a little bit lower than I would have liked, and I didn't have a stop loss. I was watching it and had a market order. So I ended up taking a bigger loss than I would have wanted. So, but it was set to be about 5% or a little bit less of a loss. So I'll forgive that one. Not too bad. Just multi-day bounce, sticking to what I know, what is strong, and what's familiar, what I've tracked. Here we got a breakout play. We'll get into each one right now. But really seems like just taking my quick gains. Let's look at the percentage wins. Not too bad. Had a little scratch here. That one didn't work out, but I made up for it on SBFM later on. Yeah, just taking the quick gains. This one was a butchered play. Oh, that was annoying. That was a problem with patience. But overall, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Can't complain. From my wins, let's see. Actually, I'll calculate that later. Doesn't matter. And then here, this is how far I'm selling from the highs. So as you can see, at some moments I could definitely work on my patience a little better. This one leaving 12%, 9.5% on this one, 7 pretty much, 6 right here. So leaving a little bit on the table, something I typically do, but good to see that how much I really am leaving, and that might make me want to be more patient if I'm just staring at it the whole time in my spreadsheets. And then time wise, I need to enter those, but quick trades, 8 minutes there, 4 minutes, 9, 25. PHIO wasn't long, that was like 10 minutes. We'll get into it. So let's just jump into this actually. Yesterday, MDVL were my main trades. Missed the play that I wanted with the multi-day bounce, as we can see here. Huge run up, fade, just looking for that momentum shift, and then it gave us more than expected, and then turned out to be a breakout play, pretty much. Excuse me. So I adapted to missing the breakout play, or sorry, the multi-day bounce. Then saw it up here, still holding momentum, still holding trend, consolidating for a bit, still strong volume coming in. I thought this thing might have a burst to test the breakout play, and that's exactly what happened. The breakout level of 261, I believe, and we had a fake out to 267. Took it from 225 as it was holding here, gave a solid double bottom, making this high here. It's support now. It failed to head lower, and shorts got out. Some buyers came in like me and dumped it at 260. So that was a decent trade there. Seemed like it failed. Thought it was over, but then completely adapted when it came back and was breaking over the bounce high here. Figured there's some solid short sellers sizing into this. So with some selling that we see here with the volume, figured if this holds to break down or fails to break down and it holds up, we could get a solid move higher. And that's exactly what happened. I thought we'd get more than 3, but of course 3, a whole dollar, $half level. Gotta respect it. Got out at 299, entry 243. So solid day yesterday, just adapting to missing the play that I wanted. So ended up working out, but that doesn't always happen. But in this case, it did work out, and way to finish the week there. ATER, this was a solid call here. We had the breakout here, late day once again. So I had ATER in my mind and VERU. Sorry to jump around here. But when I was looking at what do you call it? MDVL with that first speculative trade in the 220s. I was kind of reminded by some of these plays here, and even the second trade where it was spiking, ready to break out late day into the after hours area time. We got the push here from VERU. ATER had the solid push as well, solid 10% move from the breakout level. So thought maybe MDVL would do the same, and it did end up working out nicely. But back to ATER, we had the breakout, which ended up failing to continue pre-market. We get the failure to break down. The breakout level is 493. As you can see here, solid green day volume. Just a bunch of volume going on this past week or so. Solid uptrend. And we're getting that last gasp, it looks like. Volume got extended. But it is still holding up. It could definitely continue higher. But what I was seeing, 493 breakout. Missed it that first day, being patient. Missed it again early on. I was mapping it out on Twitter, what I would be doing. And I did have to adapt to that, as I did miss the initial entry that I would have wanted, breaking that high, getting that confirmation here, holding VWAP, breaking above red-green, just bullish indicators lining up. And then we got the failure to break down, and I was pretty patient with my entry here. Got in pretty much last second once I saw the failure to really break down. And I was mentioning earlier that, I'd be getting in here, risking the 540 area, looking for 630, maybe higher, because those are the resistance levels that are lined up. You can see here, 630 is where I was aiming. I had an eye on 580, which was where it was consolidating around. It was set as a high here, so when that broke out and failed to break down, as you can see with the consolidation, that little dip in this area, the 580s. From there, we got a burst higher, sold at 625. Entry was 560. Yeah, right there. 560 to 625. So solid trade, just taking my quick snipe, selling into a resistance level, mapped out perfectly beforehand, just executing it properly. That was a solid trade. We had PHIO. That was a really nice multi-day bounce play as well. Got it from 132, sold at 147, right near the highs. That was very nice. Didn't bounce as much as I really would have wanted, but still right underneath 30%. Just sticking to the data, taking my quick snipes. So, and if it does end up failing to break down, I could re-enter. So that's what I'd rather do. Take my quick gains while I'm up, and if it proves me wrong and that it's gonna hold up, I'll buy again. We got IMTE. This was the loss. This is a pump here. That is what it looks like from the chart. Huge failure. Just every day failing to break down or failing to give a bounce. Just heading lower. But it does look like we're tightening up here. The lows are really tightening up. Much smaller red candles compared to early on when it was dipping. But this one I had a premature trade. What day was it? This day right here, the 11th. Just get right. Was that the day? Yeah. Just got in prematurely. Didn't stick to my plan. The way I trade this, I was getting into this mess. I think it was like 860 or something. And usually, like I say, wait for it to set the high, look for it to fail to break down, and then you get the high at daybreak, and that's the entry. I did not do that. I wasn't patient enough. Just thought this should have a amazing bounce. This isn't so far off the highs, and it just didn't. And that's a lesson there. They don't need to do anything that you want. You got to really react to the price action and, be prepared so you can react properly. And in that case, I was emotional and did not react properly. Should have not been a trade. Only loss of the week. But what are you going to do? What else is it? SBFM? That was some. Which one was that? A bounce play. Yeah? What it was? Yeah, multi-day bounce. Got the huge run up. shorts take over, like I typically talk about, looking for that momentum shift. Got it nicely here. First trade I had, scratch pretty much, made a penny. Was just barely 10%, maybe not even. I was getting at 450. 493 was the high, so yeah, wasn't even making 10% there. Thought we'd hold up here and head higher, but instead we got some failure. Got rid of it right away. Barely any profit there. Doesn't even count pretty much. And then from there we got the failure to break down. And this is what I'm talking about. Just dump your play. This time I didn't take the snipe because didn't really get to where I want. And I was trying to be a little patient, but ended up failing. But I'll re-enter when things line up properly and it looks familiar. I will take it. So I started getting in here as it was failing to break down, going red green. It was 73. This is actually what, 76. Yeah, this is from yesterday. And then we got the solid move, and I gave up a lot. I left a lot on the table. I took my 50 cents. I was aiming for $1, but was just emotional, and that was a problem there. Could have really maximized on that play. You got the momentum shift, so you can see how they don't always work out the way you want. VERU was too choppy, and that scared me out pretty much. Had a horrible exit there. We'll go over that. But with this one here, being choppy in the morning, but then set up nicely later on. We had PHIO, which had the nice move early on. That happened. So you got to really react to what's happening. There's no set way how they work out every time. You just got to gauge the momentum and the price action and volume and make your best judgment and follow the data. That will definitely aid you in the right direction. But then, did I go over VERU? I don't think I did entirely because I just wanted to compare the multi-day bounce that I was really messing up here. Got a great entry, but the exit was just horrible. It was just choppy here. Could have sold for my 10% if I would have just waited some more, but failed to hold through this second dip here. It had what it looked like to be a double top and fat red candles, so I got scared out. But, I should have kept holding to see how it would react to that. Doesn't mean usually I see this as topping action, and as much as that is true, it could be a temporary top. See how the dip holds. See how it reacts to that volume. Because if it doesn't react the way shorts are expecting it to, we'll get movement higher like we did. So it was an exhausting play for sure. Look at all this choppiness. Just not my style. This definitely was the proper move for the multi-day bounce. And then later on, hesitated and didn't take the multi-day bounce or multi-day break. Excuse me. But yeah, so a little bit longer of a video lesson, but a little bit more to go over. Just went over the whole week pretty much. My 8 trades, the thinking behind them, and the lessons. Just taking your quick gains. I'm not trading with gigantic size, as you can see. It's just letting my gains add up and cutting my losses quickly. Sometimes you get faked out, but what are you going to do? It's a part of the game. So, hope this was helpful. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. If it was helpful for you. And check us out on Twitter at Pack a Punch Traders. Excuse me. Bunch of content there. Good calls here. Just put my video lesson, or sorry, my watch list out there daily. Besides that, check us out on tradecaster.com for live streams. We go sometimes pre-market. We just had our first one yesterday. Besides that, we are live at the open and for majority of the day too. So check us out there. Got a bunch of low cost free material to aid your journey. So take advantage of it. I hope everyone has a great long weekend.